Hello, everybody. My name is Damien. I'm here with my buddy Rocky. Rocky, say hello.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
You know what's so interesting? I know somebody with the name Rocky. You know that?
You know, I do too.
Yeah. Here he is.
Yo, Adrian, it's me, Rocky. Rocky, you know?
Did you get a lot of that?
I got all of it. So, how long did it take you to think about that one?
Oh, about 10 minutes.
Well, the only Damien I know is in like the thrillers, the horror movies. Bad joke, I guess.
It's okay. I got it. You know, Damien, like the Omen. Is that what you're talking
there you go.
Okay.
Not just once, but twice.
Not just once, but twice. But you know, we've been having a lot of discussions. Even during a union meeting, we're supposed to be like paying attention. We're coming up with topics. I was like, well, we just got to discuss a lot of things.
And we've been talking about this for a year and just throwing around just hundreds of topics. And that's why I think, coming up with our name, everything R&D.
R&D, that's right.
It's actually kind of cool. I mean, because it kind of covers everything.
Yeah. I like the research and development, yeah. Rocky Damien. I like that. And you know what? You've been bringing up a lot of good topics that, I think people in your age, my age, just, people born before the 2000s, we're just seeing a lot of changes or things that are just getting lost in culture and technology, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's just a mindset. It's how this younger generation is being raised.
Yeah. Bring the mic a little closer to you. I can't hear you.
Do you really want me to talk this loud?
No, you don't have to talk that loud, but you could adjust it and move it up a little bit so I could catch your voice a little more. There we go. Now I hear you.
All right.
But you brought up a very good topic, and I tend to agree with you that sometimes owning physical media is good. A perfect example was I have Cox Internet, and the internet went out, and I had nothing to play, but thankfully I still had a few Blu-rays and DVDs around, so I was able to watch a few things. It was out for 2 days straight. So I had no entertainment whatsoever except for like the old school Blu-rays and DVDs that I had.
Well, for me, it was actually more along when COVID hit. That really kind of like brought it to light of, so COVID hit and basically you have your streaming sites, right? So it's like, okay, cool, but you can only watch so much.
Right.
Because of what their library is. And it basically was like, hey, let's watch this, or I haven't seen this, or let's see what they have here. And it's like, oh, I can't believe they don't have this movie. Where's this movie? I can't find this movie. Well, luckily, I have it on DVD. So, and then it just turned out that there were more and more and more movies that just were not on any streaming sites.
Exactly. You have a lot of classics that were made in the 80s, even the 70s, that were gone. Like, for instance, forgot the name of the movie with Sylvester Stallone when he goes to prison.
Oh, Tango & Cash.
No, not Tango Cash, but the other one where it was filmed in New Jersey in Rahway State Prison, and Donald Sutherland is in it. He plays the warden, and I was like, man, I don't have that movie, but it was a big hit, mostly on the East Coast in New Jersey, especially my uncle Nestor. He worked as a corrections officer, and he has a photo with him.
Oh wow!
Because nice. They use basically a defunct section of the prison, and that's where they filmed the movie. But I was looking for that movie, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, man, I can't find this anywhere to stream. I can't find it on Amazon. It's not available to stream. You couldn't find it anywhere, not even Hulu.
It's just thinking of those old random movies of like, hey, we watched this. It'd be fun. I remember this actor. Let's go and see if. So I look it up on IMDb and I find the actor and be like, oh, yeah, that's right. He did this movie. And then you go in and try to find the movie and you can't find it anywhere. And, so you wait and just months go by, nothing. Still never popped up on any of those. Of the streaming sites, so it's like, God, I wish I had that on DVD.
Right. Oh, the name of the movie was called Lockup, and the name of the character he played was Frank Leone. It came out in 1989. That was the name of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, can't watch movies like that anymore. Post Rambo, that's right. Post Rambo and just before Rocky V in 1990. A lot of people hate Rocky V, but I don't mind it. I thought it was good. I thought it was gritty. It showed like a father-son relationship that we really didn't know. And he doesn't like it. He said he personally gave it a 0. I don't know why he would give it a 0. I thought it was good.
Yo, Adrian, it's me, Rocky.
But all in all,
probably because it wasn't because of a very big seller,
No, and also that, he lost everything. He went back to the ghetto and stuff like that. And people are like, why? Was it necessary? And Tommy Gunn, Tommy Morrison. And actually, I forgot the name of the boxer that played Union Kane, but those two were actually going to fight in the early 90s, but it never went through. It was going to be the real Kane versus real gunfight, but they never went through with it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So again, that's movies affecting cultures. Like people were excited to see these two movie characters who were real boxers that were actually going to have a heavyweight fight, but it never went through. And then sometime after that, I believe Tommy Morrison was diagnosed with HIV.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just typical Hollywood, you know. I mean, shows and movies get canceled all the time for various reasons, or they get delayed. I mean, some movies you hear about, they take years.
Yeah, that happened with Top Gun Maverick. I think they did it in 2019, then COVID hit. Did it come out for like another 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because production stopped and this and that. But even back in the 80s, I mean, because we had talked about this before, you know, where they're, you know, one studio is chasing another studio, you know, and
Right.
and, you know, this was the popular thing at the time. This was the theme. This was, you know, the big named actors. Who do we get? Who do we not get? And then, you know, it came down to money and location and
Right.
location sites then were really not utilized like they are now. I mean, now you got location sites all over the country,
That's
world
true.
that are popularized. Like you got, you know, New Mexico is very big. Las Vegas is very big.
Yeah.
You know, the upper East Coast, you know, the whole New England, New York, Pennsylvania area, that's very popular. California.
Even Utah for like the Western films and stuff like that.
Yeah. Arizona, you know, down in old Tucson. You know,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So there's a lot more choices now. And they're easier to produce there because they have their unions down there and they have, you know, all their production sites. So you don't have to transport an entire electrical department or this other department, you know, because you have people in that region that are supporting the film industry. So,
Right. And now a new trend that's happening because it really started with The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. What they're doing now is they're having what they call a dome LED. So the whole entire room is a big dome. It's LED screens, and they could basically program it to look anything like they want. And then in the stage, they'll put like a little set area. So like rocks or trees or like fake grass. And they're doing that to avoid travel costs and filming in all these locations.
wow, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so you could see proper light reflection. So back in the day, they would use green screen, which I love to use. But now what they're doing with this new LCD screen technology, like the big dome, the best way to describe this is imagine if you're in the Sphere in Las Vegas, but inside the Sphere they have like a soundstage and they have things looking like you're in a city or whatever.
Well, the benefit behind that too is you can create worlds that you've never thought would exist.
Which is being used for Star Wars, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you can like imagine if they did that with The Martian, you know, or
Oh yeah,
or one of those other Interstellar or something like that that has, you know, some really intense background scenes or stuff that you just wouldn't find here physically on Earth. You
right.
can
Alien
create it.
worlds.
Yeah, you can create a lot of weird things. So it's actually kind of cool. And, you know, I wish the industry the best because Lord knows they need to come up with some new ideas.
Yeah, all they keep doing is going back to recycled stuff. Is like nothing against the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. There was a big thing about it, but again, I watched what growing up was the King of Comedy with Jerry Lewis, and that's all the Joker felt to me. I was like, it's just like a remake of this, and a little bit of Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't anything original. I'm trying to think of something original that came out that I enjoyed. I would say Sinners was a decent one that I saw.
You talking about like an original style movie back in the 80s that they tried to reboot?
No, like now, like would you say something that came out more recently that was like, oh wow, this is just an original idea and it was just amazing and blew my mind. Like this is what cinema should be.
Well, there's actually been quite a few of them within the last couple of years that I thoroughly enjoyed, but the problem is that these came out on Netflix, and Netflix doesn't do straight to movies or to the theaters anyway.
Right.
So you can
They have limited releases.
right, and you can't find the physical copy, which is which is one of the problems with not having DVDs is the physical copies are limited, and you can only find them on Netflix. And a couple of those movies were The Gray Man.
The Gray Man.
With Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
yeah.
Gosling.
Yeah.
And then there was another one with The Rock, actually. It was actually one of the few movies I really enjoyed with The Rock. It's called Red Notice. And
Yeah. Is that the one with him,
Ryan Reynolds
and Gal Gadot?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. It was like a fun hunter adventure trip.
Yeah, it had a nice adventure to it. It had an awesome twist at the end. And
It was funny.
yeah, but it was very original.
I liked
with
it.
today's day and age.
Yeah, it made me laugh. I think there was a scene where The Rock is basically starting up a sports car, and it makes it look like he's gonna do some type of James Bond chase, and all of a sudden he just gets T-boned like while pulling out.
So it's definitely, I know Hollywood definitely has their work cut off for them, or all the basically movie industry has their work cut off for them to try to find original topics.
Yeah,
And but the problem is they keep doing these remakes, and all I'm going to say is Snow White.
yeah. Snow White. Honestly, I really enjoyed The Huntsman with Chris Hemsworth in 2012. I was like, okay, that's a good take. And then you come out with Gal Gadot, and I don't even know what the girl's name is, but I was just like, what am I watching?
Well, the problem is remakes aren't a new thing. I mean, they've been doing remakes in the 80s.
Right.
Right. So 90s. So there were a lot of remakes back then, but those movies were from like 30s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And they
exactly.
just it's a new adaptation of the movie. And,
Well, that's like A Star Is Born, with Lady Gaga and what's his name, Bradley Cooper. People were talking like it's a new movie. I was like, no, this is a remake with Barbara Streisand, and was it Chris Christopherson? I can't remember who was the singer in that one. But it was just like, this is a remake. You guys are watching a remake. This is nothing new, and you're making this song a hit on the radio. And I was like, okay.
yeah. So it's definitely not a new trend.
Is there a remake that you enjoyed that surprised you? A perfect example. I enjoyed True Grit 2010 more than with nothing against John Wayne, but I really enjoyed True Grit with Matt Damon and I forgot his name from Tron. What's his name? I'm trying to blank here.
Come on, keep thinking.
Oh, what is his name?
I think the best part about a remake nowadays,
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. His
So
dad was an airplane. I forgot his dad's name.
Bo is his brother. So I think that's a great pick for a remake that's actually did very, very, very well.
Right.
I think the trick or the thing that makes the remake the best is if it's casted properly.
Yes.
If you
Exactly.
cast a remake poorly with a person or persona that's different than what the original characters were, it just doesn't sit well with the audience.
Right. And that's what happened with Total Recall.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them. Red Dawn was another one.
Red Dawn was okay.
It
was okay.
Ghostbusters.
Which one?
Well, it's the point being is that I think it just depends on who the characters are.
Oh, Ghostbusters with the girls?
The female
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
And nobody can understand why it didn't work. But it's just like, you guys are kind of remaking a classic, and it's not necessary. What we should have done is a spiritual sequel, which they did.
There's a lot. Point Break, Snow White.
Oh, Point
Annie.
Break. Yeah, they should have never done that. Point Break is classic.
I mean, the list goes on and on. And
Well, now they're making a sequel from what I'm reading. I'm not sure if it's going to be a video game or something, but I heard
Point Break?
a Point Break is going to be something along the lines with Keanu Reeves' child
interesting.
taking control and Bodhi's child. It's something I was reading about it, but that's in the process right now. They're going to do a sequel. So the new trend I'm reading is soft reboot sequels. Like it takes place in the same universe, but it's kind of like rebooting it. So that's the new trend.
And actually, that's not new. Star Trek did that.
Oh yeah, with the time travel,
with the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
With the new cast.
right?
Of the and it was the original Star Trek.
Right.
With Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and
Yeah.
Keith Urban or Carl Urban. Sorry, sorry. Keith Urban's on my mind because he just got divorced.
Carl. Oh yeah. From what's her name? Nicole Kidman, right?
Yeah. So it's
Carl Urban, aka Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat.
Those guys did a really great job reenacting the actors, and Zoe Saldana's in it.
Zoe Saldana, yeah, she played what's her name? Aurora. What's her name?
Uhura. Yes.
Uhura. Yeah.
So
I actually enjoyed that one. I remember going to the theater with my friend, and his father came along because he's like a Star Trek nerd because he watched the movies and the shows when when he was a kid. And literally when Planet Vulcan blew up, he screamed out loud. He goes, "That didn't happen!"
Well, it's not. It's because it's the Kelvin timeline.
Right. It's a restart of the
But I think what made that series great until Anton Yelchin passed away
With the Jeep that killed
yeah,
him?
he was Chekhov. And
Chekhov, yeah.
I think one, it was casted very well.
Right.
You know, they found some younger actors that pretty much kind of embodied the originals, but they went into it with the intent of knowing that this is not a reboot. This is a separate alternate timeline
Right.
of what could have happened had this happened. And there's your buddy Chris Hemsworth at the beginning.
Oh yeah, he played
Who was he? I know he was.
he played the father of Kirk.
James D. Kirk.
James T. Kirk. Yeah, he played his father,
Tiberius.
Tiberius.
So yeah, he was in the beginning, and I thought even the villains were casted great. You know,
Yeah, what's his name? Edward Bana. What's his name again? Bana.
not Edward Bana,
What's his name?
but he was in
The Hulk.
yeah. Well, he was. I was going to say Troy.
He was in Troy.
Yeah, he was in Troy.
Yeah, he played Hector.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
Tom
got-
Hardy was in it.
Tom Hardy.
I
Tom
believe it was
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah, he played. Or am I thinking of a different movie?
No, you're thinking of Tom Hardy was.
Oh, when he
was
played the
Bane.
younger. You know, that's right. He wasn't a different. He was the one with Picard. He was the younger Picard.
Oh, was he?
The clone. He was a clone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But but it was nice to see that, Simon Pegg, I mean, just nailed it. I mean, it was just
Oh, as Scotty.
as Scotty. So
Yeah.
but the point is that they went in with the intent of knowing that it was going to be an alternate universe. So people went in not expecting it to be the same.
Right,
So
which was smart.
It was a nice reboot, but yeah, it wasn't a reboot. And I think that's kind of where some of Hollywood should go. But if you go in with the intent of, hey, we're just going to remake Point Break with the same characters, but we're going to add a little bit different adventure and
no.
same principle, Robin makes and
That was like the movie Exodus with Christian Bale playing Moses. And I went in there with low expectations. I enjoyed it, but I'm like, I'd rather see the Ten Commandments with Charleston Heston.
Yeah.
It stands the test of time,
Yeah.
and it looks better. It feels better.
but it's best if you have the DVD.
It's best if you have the DVD because you
Yeah.
can't find. I can't go on a stream.
Yeah.
Literally right now as we speak, I cannot watch the Ten Commandments anymore.
No,
with
and
Charleston
actually,
Heston.
I did a little bit of research. Thank you AI, basically, ChatGPT, and there's an infinite number of movies and television shows available in the world today, but according to ChatGPT, about 280,000 of them are active in global distribution
Wow.
over different sites, and basically these are officially recognized titles
In regions.
tracked by the industry databases. So basically, it equates about 12% of what's out there.
Wow.
From all the major sites: Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime, Hulu. About 12% of what you see on those sites is about what's available in the world. So the other 88% might be on pay-per-view sites. Maybe you might find them on Prime or some other website streaming sites or piracy sites. But
Yeah.
really, it's they're behind paywalls if they're there.
That's crazy.
So that's a huge number of movies out there, and it gets worse when it comes to talk about the physical media. There's 250, 300,000 are technically in databases right now, and then half of that, 150 to 200,000, are available for purchase. That's less than 75% of what's actually out in active distribution. So
Wow.
it's it's crazy to think that and then nowadays tens of thousands only exist in physical media, and tons of thousands are never even printed in physical media.
Right.
That's unfortunate
It
because
is.
because you would like to be able to get one of these newer movies out, and update your collection or whatever, and have it in physical media, but they're just not made.
No, they're not. And the same goes for like television shows. Like I remember, 20 years ago, you could go to Best Buy and buy like I Love Lucy or The Sopranos or whatever television show you wanted. And now you can't watch those TV shows. The same thing goes for Miami Vice. I remember 2012, you could watch Miami Vice on Netflix because they bought and owned the DVD copies so you could stream it. Can't watch Miami Vice anymore. At least not on Netflix.
Yeah. So it's helpful to have those sites, but there is a saving grace though. If you're fortunate to have one in your market of wherever you live. But here in Phoenix, there's a a couple of them that are actually very beneficial. Zero Records is one of them. Nope, they didn't pay us to say that, but there's some places around that basically it's a buy and sell. People sell them or trade them in, and then you can go back and buy them. And I've been able to find a lot of old movies
Right.
that way, and the same thing with CDs for music, but physical media, and you can find them in DVD form, of all types. So it's really nice to have.
The music I find easy to look for, at least, especially on YouTube. A lot of people like upload stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. I can find a lot of music on YouTube. I don't know why, but especially like old school.
I think the music industry is a little bit more different
Right.
Because not only that, you have all your other platforms of Spotify and Pandora, and so you can find a lot of those.
Napster.
Not anymore on that one.
Not anymore on Napster, because I remember that you had to pay a little bit once they got a lawsuit.
Not necessarily.
Right.
But it took forever because it was all based off of a landline.
Yeah.
So you're doing it off of your landline. So here I was at 2:00 in the morning while everyone's asleep, and I'm downloading music on Napster, and it takes an hour to download a song.
Well, I remember I downloaded basically like 16 songs, went to school, came back, and the last one was almost done downloading.
Yeah. And then here's the worst part is once you take that media, you put it on your iPod.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the iPods don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I still got mine.
Yeah, I had a blue MP3 player that I bought at Best Buy. It's a shame because Best Buy really doesn't sell the things that made them their business. So you walk in Best Buy, it's like, where are your movies? Like, where are your CDs? Where are your music CDs? It's like,
the problem is
not what it used
the
to be.
market. It's this,
Right.
it's the way this younger generation views things. And it's unfortunate that times have changed from when we grew up. But
right.
it's just I guess a victim of today's society, which is a shame because and actually it's kind of a dual sword because I was watching a documentary or a clip on YouTube from a very famous actor who was talking about why they don't print DVDs anymore, and a lot of it has to do with just the cost of it.
Right. Cost of production.
The cost of production versus not only that, but then you got the licensing rights and then the payouts
And distribution rights, like selling it to the stores.
Yeah,
And stuff.
a lot of it became worse and worse when the actors went on strike a few years ago.
Yeah, I believe that was, what was it, 2021 or something like that. There was a strike around that
The
time.
actor strike, and part of that was because the big one was the streaming sites. Is like, how are they going to get paid?
How are they going to get paid for those streaming sites?
Um,
I think Dave Chappelle made a big thing about it. I think it was Netflix and HBO Max put his show, the entire show, on their streaming website. And I believe a fan or somebody asked him, and he says, "No, I didn't get paid anything." And then he tagged them both in his post. He goes, "Do y'all want to explain this?" And then I think they paid him something, but that was like a controversy back then, which was around that time, around 2020, 2021.
Yeah, and it's hard to find a lot of that stuff even on YouTube. Because they're the biggest platform right now, and a lot of that has to do with copyright issues. So
And it gets copyright strike, and you can't find it anymore.
yeah, that's the biggest issue. But even if you did have licensing rights to it, the actors unions definitely have a big say in it because,
Of course.
because now you're being able to play it and people are being monetized on it, or someone's being monetized on it, but yet they're not making money. So
Right. And it's all about that money. And I think that's why a lot of people are doing stuff on TikTok and YouTube. And believe it or not, a lot of people, hey, Mr. FedEx, that's a FedEx truck going by. But a lot of people are just going to other media because their attention span is very low. And Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they just came out with a new movie called The Rip. And they were discussing as to why they created the movie the way they did with all the action within a certain amount of minutes, because they based it off of data time of people using their cell phones, because they were basically doing it like someone's going to be looking at their phone and they're not going to be paying attention, or they have to pause it and go here and go there. And that's why they made that movie the way they did, because everybody's always on their cell phone.
Yeah, it's just a change in the culture.
Yeah.
Nowadays where we didn't have those distractions growing up.
No.
In the 80s and
No.
90s, and the media was also limited too because it was kind of a monoculture back then where you only had just a handful of studios that actually produced content.
Right. That was your only entertainment.
Yeah, and it was all pre-programmed, and you can record anything, until TiVo came out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
you
Actually,
know-
Howard Stern was complaining that he couldn't use his TiVo anymore. I'm like, dude, it's like 2025. You can't use your TiVo anymore.
Yeah, but if you go 20 years ago, 2005. I mean, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but
Right.
technology has changed a huge
Huge.
chunk at the time, and even then, it was still kind of towards the tail end of the monoculture where there wasn't as many sites,
Right.
and so pretty much this movie was on at 7 o'clock, on a Thursday night. So guess what? You and your friends are all watching it at that time, or there's
Yeah.
shows coming out on Sunday at 6 o'clock, and so you best be home by 6. You can watch it.
Well, I remember family members, including my father, where they would program the VCR if they knew they were going to miss it. So they programmed the VCR and it would record because he had to work during the George Foreman fight when he fought Moore.
Yeah.
And my dad, he recorded it on HBO. So when he came back home, he played it and we all watched it.
Yeah. So that's if you were fortunate to have a VCR at the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was in the 90s. So we were fortunate enough.
Yeah, it was. That was pretty much kind of the only way. And but then again, too, the playback was just horrible. It was all grainy.
Oh, yeah. It was grainy and warbly, like, rah, rah. But I remember that you had to clean the VCR. There was a special tape that you would put like a little injection thing in it. You would put it in the VCR and it would clean the reels or the spools, I should say.
Yeah, those little reading discs or whatever that they wrapped around. But
Right.
yeah, then you had to keep it free of dust and.
Yep. Yeah.
And then not only that, what they didn't tell you was that if you don't play your tape over and over and over again because you start to wear down the tape.
Yeah.
They'll stretch and they'll start to tear. And
well, that's how it was at Blockbuster. And I knew something was wrong when I rented some old tape. I forgot what movie it was, but I remember there was like a naughty scene. But I remember it being warbly around there. I was like, oh, that's because somebody was like rewinding and play it. I think it was Predator Part 2. That's what it was with Danny Glover.
Well, that's when Cinemax was Skinemax.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember it was like, okay, everybody's asleep. Let me turn on the TV at 11:30 on HBO. All right.
God.
Now they could just get
like
it on
the
their phone right now. They could get it on their phone. And watch,
it's like the beginning of
anything.
American Pie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just like you had to go to a really extreme lengths for pleasure, but now everybody gets it on their phone. But I have a rule. When I watch movies or television with my significant other, I tell her, I said, please put your phone on the coffee table. Like, don't touch it.
Yeah.
The same thing as me. Like, I put my phone on the coffee table, and I just I respect the movie. I respect the content. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big change over the last 20 years as far as like how people watch movies.
Right.
And it doesn't help that the industry's dying. It's like slowly bleeding, and
it is. It's sad.
And then what makes it worse too is a lot of these movies are behind. I hate to say paywalls, but they are, because you have to pay to get Netflix, you have to pay to get Disney, you have to pay to have these sites, and Apple TV and all these others where you won't know about the movie unless you're on those sites.
Right, and that's the only site that I don't have is Apple TV, and it's a shame because they have a lot of good content. But I'm like, there's too many streaming apps. The same thing goes for like sports entertainment, like with wrestling. It was always on the Peacock app. Now it's like on 3 separate apps. You have Peacock, which I think they got rid of it and it's no longer on there. But there was a time 5 months ago where it was on Peacock, ESPN to watch the pay-per-views, and right now on Netflix. Raw's on Netflix. But now Netflix has the library where you could watch the older stuff. So you could watch WrestleMania from 1985 and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's just ridiculous.
That library of old movies, of old fights.
Yeah. So it's on there, but it's just like you have to now you have to climb over mountains and go through valleys just to figure out where to watch and how to watch.
Yeah, it's a challenge, and it really is. And it's just like that old remote control syndrome where you jump on the things like, what do you want to watch today, and you just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll.
Yeah, only thing I'm grateful for with the Peacock app right now is that I could watch the replays of the Olympics because it's in Italy and we're in a way different time zone. So like it's like 2 or 3 in the morning over there when it's like 4 o'clock.
8
over
hours
there.
ahead, I believe.
8 hours ahead. So like we're already sleeping when someone's going downhill skiing.
Yeah, and it's nice, and I know our cable provider here has on demand, so you can watch that there. And it's literally right at your fingertips throughout the day on social media, which is actually a really nice tool.
No, it is actually. I really don't watch the news anymore. I get my news from social media.
Oh, I do too.
So from when a lot of friends, it's a good trend in a good way because when something bad happens, I find about it from friends on social media. So I log into Facebook or Instagram or Thread, and then I see like, oh, so and so got almost got shot, and this person passed away today, or this actor died. So I'm always seeing that on my Facebook. So I never go to news sites. I don't go to.
Well,
CNN
the mainstream media is very biased right now, and they're only
Right.
focusing on certain subjects.
It's all politics now.
And and so it doesn't matter if it's ABC, NBC, CBS,
Right.
CNN or all those. They all focus roughly on the same topics.
It gets boring.
And and really, if you want to get the lowdown of so and so passed away, or this famous actor, this famous musician, or whatever, they're not going to cover it.
No.
No. And that's a shame because I think most of that stuff is more newsworthy, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Unless it's a high profile death of, like, let's say Gene Hackman or Rob Reiner.
yeah. Gene Hackman died in your former state, right? Like some type of a rat
he
virus.
lived in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There's a lot of actors that
Lived.
still live there. I mean, well, New Mexico, you can buy ranches. They have a lot of people have ranches. Val Kilmer lived there.
Yeah, he did, but he couldn't afford it, so he moved out.
Well, he still had a ranch.
Yeah.
The Kilmer Ranch, and then
Kilmer Ranch.
Julia Roberts is up there.
Is she?
Up in Taos?
Oh no, wow.
Northern New Mexico. It's very beautiful up there. You haven't been there, but there's a lot. There's a lot of actors that have ranch lands, and
Farmland too.
yeah.
Dave Chappelle has farmland in Ohio.
Yeah. And actually that came to light too because I was actually listening to an episode of Russell Crowe,
Right.
and they were talking about his growth growing up and how do you of course they're grilling him on like, well, how can you make 5 movies a year, where doesn't it like take a toll on your body? And he's like, yeah, that's why I had to go back to my ranch for 6 months.
In Australia, right?
He's got a ranch down there, so it's,
Yeah, that's right. He was on Joe Rogan talking about that.
and you hear about all these even back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, a lot of these guys. Ronald Reagan had a ranch.
Yeah. He had the cowboy hat and stuff.
Yeah. Also, a lot of these big time actors, big A stars and A celebrities and B celebrities,
Yeah.
have places where they can go just to get out of the city, and just reboot basically.
Yeah, well, that's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He has a ranch out in Nevada. A lot of people think he's in Texas, but no, it's I think he calls it the Broken Skull Ranch, and he lives out there.
I thought you were going to say the Bunny Ranch.
No. He lives out there. He's on his own, and
Just jokes.
No, and at first he is talking to his fans and telling them that he had like a little bit of a rat problem, but he took care of it because he got cats. So now he kind of makes like his social media thing with his cats because the cats kill all the mice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they're gnawing away at the ATV wires.
All the roof rats and stuff that live out there.
Oh yeah, because he's out in the ranch, and that he says he loves it. He's away from the noise of Hollywood, and he does go and do wrestling and all that. But he made so much money from pro wrestling and doing movies.
Yeah.
Actually, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the reason why Sylvester Stallone has those the metal bar and the pins in his neck and stuff. Because when they were filming The Expendables, Stallone told him, he's like, "I want you to tackle me." And he did, but when he did it, Stallone hit his collarbone and his neck into like a hard rock, and he broke it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Stone Cold Steve Austin's the reason why Stallone has problems with his neck. Yeah.
He walked pretty stiff to begin with.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's been the industry has changed a lot.
100% change.
Just in the last 20 years, and it's unfortunate that it is, but that's just the the trend. That's the times.
Yeah, and people don't treat celebrities like they used to. Like they used to treat them like gods because, like you said earlier in our conversation, is that it was very limited. So it's like we only saw these stars on the movies or in the screens or doing interviews, and now we see them all the time. They're on social media, so now it's just like, you're no different than me. Especially during COVID, a lot of people were upset at the movie stars because they're filming in their mansions or in their pools, and they're telling them to stay home and social distance. Like, well, yeah, that's easy for you to say because you got a nice big mansion, but we're home and we need to work.
And you get enough money, you don't have to worry about paying your mortgage.
Exactly, because the house is paid off that they did already.
Yeah, it's but yeah, it's just the trend, and who knows what the world's going to look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But I can tell you this:
AI.
Yeah, these streaming sites are difficult because everything's on a rotating basis. So
In a limited basis.
and it's on a limited basis. A lot of it has to do with like licensing rights and stuff like that.
Right.
So there may be a movie that comes out now, it'd be up on the Netflix for 6 months, and then it disappears for a year.
Right. Or it's gone forever.
Or gone forever. So the benefit of having that physical media is once you own it, you own it.
Right.
There's no licensing.
Well, a perfect example was that is I was telling a coworker friend of ours, because he was going away and he wanted to watch a movie. I told him, I said, there's a good rom-com that deals with football and it's got great acting. It's called Silver Linings Playbook. And for years, I would say for at least 8-9 years, it was on Netflix. Now it's gone.
Yeah.
Can't find it.
What's actually I've been doing around the station was I've loaned it to a few people. E.T.
Okay, a little ET. Yeah.
E.T. You can't see it anywhere. It's it's a great.
It's on the Stars app.
Is it on the Stars app now?
It's on the Stars app.
But for how long? So,
Well-
but the point being is at the time it wasn't on.
Yeah.
They say they couldn't find it, and I'm just like, you know what? I've got the newest, latest edition. Well, at the time it was the latest edition.
Was that the 2003 one where they took out the shotguns and put walkie-talkies?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember that.
Yeah, because my sister bought that one. So we have that one on DVD.
But yeah, it's as long as you have the physical media, you can watch it, and that's so basically the version that you bought is what you have.
Yeah.
So there's no crazy edits, no weird cuts.
Drew Barrymore was adorable in that.
Oh yeah, she was. And there's no commercials. I just like the fact that E.T. got drunk.
Oh, wait, he was drinking the beer.
He's drinking the beer.
Well, Harrison Ford didn't want his face as a cameo because he didn't want to distract the movie. I think Harrison Ford was the either the teacher or the principal. I can't remember. Remember with the frogs?
Okay.
Yeah, that was Harrison Ford. He had his photo just came up on set. His set photo came up where he has like a little ID badge. Yeah. So you see Harrison Ford with the beard and stuff, and he was allowed on the movie set. So he had a special tag.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that just came up not too long ago.
Oh, okay. I might have to look for that. I did not know Harrison Ford was in that.
Harrison Ford, I believe he was either the principal or the teacher, but that's that's him where Elliot's in trouble and the mom has to pick him up in school and the guy's talking.
Well, that's because that's what I believe. That's where E.T. got drunk, and Elliot felt it. So
he was connected. With
he was
him,
connected.
Yeah.
They were basically very connected. So when E.T. was drunk and bumping into things, and
right,
and Elliot felt it. So
it was a good animatronic for back in the day for the 80s. That was great animatronics, and Steven Spielberg filming with what he had at the time, and the little nods to his friends, like he was friends with George Lucas, so that's why you see Yoda walking in the street. He's like home.
Sometimes I miss that old school technology because that's what made a lot of these movies back then.
Yeah, that's why Star Wars was a hit, because it was just amazing camera work and editing and special effects, practical effects.
It's not even just the sci-fi ones. Just like take a lot of the westerns or just a lot of these other different movies where just some directors had to be very creative with how they were going to shoot their shot.
Right.
And, they had to be creative as to how they're going to make the scene look. And then, but you needed to have this effect.
Right.
Or you want these effects. So they had to improvise.
That's why Jaws was a hit, because the shark, it kept malfunctioning. It kept sinking to the ocean floor. So he had to film it with the shark's point of view, which wouldn't make sense because the eyes on the side, but
But then again, too, on the flip side,
right?
To a lot of this younger generation, it looks corny because, like, for example, there's a movie I'll talk about later, but there's an example of in this movie where a character is shot, falls out the window,
Right.
or falls down the stairs between like the stairwells, and you can definitely tell it's a dummy.
Oh, is it?
You can definitely tell it's a dummy pillow, basically.
Oh, okay.
Because just the way it falls and how it bounces and everything.
Yeah.
So but that's what kind of make these old movies.
Well, that's like the movie Scarface when Hector, he comes out with the chainsaw and he falls down on the steps. You could see the floor shift. So it's like a padded floor for him to land.
Yeah.
It's in the staircase. Now it's a CVS, but that staircase on the side is still there, and you can see it's just like, oh, they put a padding, so he falls with the chainsaw. And I was like, well, the floor's not supposed to shift like that, but okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's just I think that's kind of what made those 80s movies so great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The 90s movies, even that, we didn't care that was a fault.
No,
It
no,
was
we
just
just
like,
enjoyed
it
it.
didn't take away from the rest of the movie. It was just like,
that's a
okay, that's
dummy.
funny.
Well,
But-
that's like Terminator 2 when you see the truck crash. It's just a dummy moving in the truck before it explodes. It's like, okay, that's clearly a dummy, but
yeah. But with this younger generation, it has to look real.
it has to look real to
It
them.
has to look like impeccable real, or else I'm not going to believe it, and I'm just not going to like the movie.
The one thing I notice about my current movie theater experience, now I could be wrong, but as of lately, I don't see any young people. It's everybody my age. It's all millennials. I really don't see 20-year-olds. I don't see teenagers going to the movies. And I'm just like, man, it used to be the opposite. It would be so many teenagers in the theater that you would have to yell at them, shut up. Like, let me watch this.
The movie theater was a place to go hang out or make out.
It was. It was.
you
That
know.
was the only place. I remember when I was 16, I would have my girl meet me up there, and that was the best time. We had our privacy, making out. We pick crappy movies.
Yeah, I mean, but times have changed too. I mean, back then we had the dollar movies. We had all kinds of stuff that,
This would be $5.
and there was it was $1 for me.
Oh, I wasn't around for that one.
It was $1, then it went $2.
For me, it was 5, and then it was matinee. It was 3.
So it was that was it. But I also at the same time too, pretty much every movie went to theater.
Yeah.
And so if you're gonna watch it before it even went to physical media or
Right.
went to
Straight to tape
or
or
TV or whatever, it was always at the theater first.
Always, yeah.
And so if you want to see it, it's there. And
Yeah, back in the day, there was a stigma where if you did a movie and it went straight to DVD, that meant it sucked. But now it's the opposite. Now if it goes straight to streaming, that means it's just as good.
yeah, and that's what a lot of these studios do. Like Disney
Yeah.
does that a lot. And
Yeah, they did that with all the Star Wars
and
stuff.
and you'll never see a Netflix movie in the theater because of their lawsuits and stuff. So
Yeah. Well, what Netflix needs to do, which possibly could happen if they do it, is they have to create their own theater chain. Because back in the day, certain theater chains would play certain movies, like Regal. I forgot what it was. AMC was owned by. I'll just make it up, but we'll say AMC was owned by Warner Brothers. Regal was owned by Paramount, and that's where you see all these different movie chains because that's where they would show their movies.
yeah, in a roundabout way, that is correct.
Right.
However, what I do remember over the last couple of years is I think Netflix tried to do their own theaters.
Did they?
It was in select markets. This was during COVID.
Okay.
Because their movies weren't being able to be shown in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of their movies, aren't even up for awards. So, like if you do a Netflix movie, you might not even be up for an Oscar.
Really?
Yeah. So they're left out of the Hollywood industry part. And I think that's why this big push right now, and I don't know where it stands right now, but there's a big push, or there's a rumor that Netflix was going to buy Warner Brothers.
They did. The
So
deal
that
went
is
through.
official?
That is official. So we don't know what's going to happen with HBO Max. They did do a post that it did happen and that they're going to fill in, the buyers and the users
So
in a little bit.
So now it's
a
interesting
merge.
to see what the libraries are going to look like.
Well, not only that, but this is going to affect movie universes. So because Netflix now is on Warner Brothers, the rumor is now they're going to bring back the Zack Snyder universe, which means your favorite Batman's coming back.
Yes, absolutely. We'll get to that later.
Which is fine, because what was going to happen originally before Matt Reeves took over, they were going to stick with the Flash movie. They were going to have Michael Keaton be the new Batman, which is I got no problem with that. And he was kind of be like a Nick Fury, which with the Justice League.
Okay.
So he's going to guide them and tell them what to do. He was going to be in the new Batgirl show and all that stuff. And then all that fell through when Matt Reeves came in. He's like, no, we're stopping everything Zack Snyder. We're rebooting everything. Hence the new Superman movie.
Hence the new Superman, and now we got Supergirl.
Supergirl, right, which is the young lady from Game of Thrones.
Was she in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, she played the younger version of the main character. I forgot her name. But she played the teenager version of her. So that actress is playing Supergirl.
Interesting.
And is it Jason Momoa? It is Jason Momoa. He's playing Lobo? Is he?
I am not sure. I don't know much about the movie.
I think Jason Momoa is playing Lobo, so it's like you have Aquaman playing another DC character.
Oh, Lord.
Which happened in the Marvel universe. You had so many people playing different characters.
It's the same thing with the Fantastics.
Yeah. Fantastic Four or
Thank
the
you for
Fantastics?
Sevens. that's why Deadpool made fun of him.
Yeah. You have freaking the Human Torch playing Captain America. But even Ben Affleck, he's playing Daredevil, or you got the Green Lantern.
I thought he was Daredevil before.
Ben Affleck playing Daredevil?
I thought he was before. In the movie Daredevil, I thought that was him.
Yeah, no, it was. What I'm saying is now you have a new Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I believe his name is Charlie Cox.
Just like we got, three different Spider-Mans and...
Oh, God. The Punisher. We got like 3 different Punishers.
So,
which I met. I met John Barathol, nice guy.
Yeah, I'd like to meet him. So, John, if you're listening, hit us up.
He was a nice guy. I
want to have you on the show sometime.
I met him at the Monster Party in Phoenix, which is technically Glendale. And
you talking about Mad Monster?
Mad Monster, yeah. So I went there. Yeah, I went there, and he was there. I didn't even know he was going to be there. So John Barenthal was there, and I went up. I paid for a picture with him. He's about he's like 2 inches taller than me. And I told him, something that surprised him. I was like, "Hey, I know your uncle, Kurt Angle." And he goes, "How you know Kurt?" I'm like, "Well, I'm a wrestling fan. I met him like in 2001 and all that." And we started talking about Kurt. And I said, "Hey, man, I love you as the Punisher. I think you're doing a good job. Can't wait to see your future stuff."
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I love his films.
He's from DC.
Yeah, I love his films. He's done some good work.
Yeah, he was great in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
He played Shane.
Well, for all you out there, I don't know if you can find his movies on DVD. So.
Oh, yeah. He did do a movie in 2013 called Snitch with The Rock.
Yeah.
That's on DVD.
Yeah.
That was like one of the last DVDs.
But even then, like any movie made after then, like after COVID, I don't think you can find anywhere on digital media. It's all streaming sites.
No, it used to be. I think the last thing that they did was the 4K discs, and that you could only play on consoles from what I remember. Unless you bought a 4K player, you could play it on a console like a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, and you had to download the app software to play it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Too bad there's not a company out there that just specializes in printing digital media. You know what I mean? Like if there was a company out there that would be like, you just order from their website and say, "Hey, I want this movie from this year, but I want this version, print it and I'll buy it."
Yeah. But then that's where you were talking about earlier. That's where the greedy corporations come in and say, "Nope, we own the rights to that." Like a perfect example is, what's the name of it? Disney right now is doing some type of copyright strike or claims on these guys that are using AI to create like not behind the scenes, but in between movie scenes of films. So right now you see a lot of Anakin Skywalker stuff, like after Revenge of the Sith, and how he's all burnt and he's thinking about Padme and he goes to her grave, and it's all AI and it looks good.
It's there's a lot out there. I mean, it goes all the way back to the earliest versions of Mickey Mouse, you know, and up until now, and it's just crazy what AI can do. But yeah, I mean, and I don't blame.
And they're bringing back the dead. You see Mr. Rogers and Stephen Hawking and Dr. Martin Luther King.
They're all doing that. The power of AI is insane.
It is, and some of the videos have tricked me, because the videos that trick me are the doorbell videos where it looks real, like it looks like it's from a Ring camera, but it's AI. So it's like a bear comes up to a guy sleeping.
Oh, I got you. I've seen those.
Yeah, or like the baby runs out and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's not real. That's AI.
I'm actually in favor, all in favor for AI It's the slop that I don't like.
Right.
It's where you can blatantly tell that it's AI and it
Right.
makes no sense, and it's just a kind of a clickbait thing. And
Yeah, as you see Stephen Hawking in a UFC fight, and he's just getting punched while sitting in the chair.
Stephen Hawking versus Timmy. I've seen that one.
Timmy.
Oh my god! So there's a lot out there, and
And you know what? It's interesting that you said about the last place to get physical copy. The last I checked, there is a Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon.
that's the last one left. That's the original.
Yeah.
So
It's in Bend, Oregon, and
which means that there's a chance for a comeback.
right. No, and a guy I know, James Rolfe, aka the Angry Video Game Nerd, he took his old Blockbuster card to there, and they scanned it, and it kind of came up in the system, and then they just re-put his information. So now he can still use his original Blockbuster card. He scanned it. They watched a portable DVD on a portable DVD player, and then they just put it back in the return slot just for nostalgia. And I'm like, wow, man, that's just crazy. But now you're seeing these little pop-up locations where I think there's one in Phoenix. I have to double check, where you go in the place, you kind of like rent a room, but you get the physical copy of what you want to watch, and then they play it for you in the room. So it's kind of like a nostalgia feel, like you rent a private room with your friend and girlfriend.
Wow, that's interesting.
I have to double check, but there is a place like that. I believe it's in Phoenix.
Well, yeah, that's actually interesting. I didn't know a place like that existed. Because
Yeah. You could get drinks, food, alcohol.
I mean, Redbox was so popular until it died.
It's gone. Yeah.
I mean,
Redbox was one of the last places for independent films to put their stuff.
Yeah.
Because Alex, who I worked with, he did a movie called Narcs. Shout out to Alex. But he did a movie called Narcs, The Curse. And it was these movies that I acted in, and you could go and get it on Redbox. So I remember promoting it like 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, go watch this movie. I'm in it. Go rent it at Redbox. Show support.
yeah, it's God,
It's all gone.
So much has changed since then, and
Yeah. And it's hard with all the streaming stuff because I just filmed something in June, and now we're dealing with all this political red tape of just trying to get it out there because there's nowhere to watch it.
yeah, and unless you do a streaming site or your own
Streaming
website,
service.
yeah.
Right. So we got two of the films that I did. Now it's on Tubi. We were able to contact Tubi and get it on it because we had to go to a certain distributor. I believe it's called ITN is the name of the distributor company, and that company puts it on those streaming websites. So you have to pay the distributor to put your film on those websites.
Yeah.
That's the politics.
Oh, times have changed. God, I wish I had it on just DVDs. You can just pop it in whenever you want.
The only thing I could say movie wise and television wise that's really stayed the same, surprisingly, that hasn't changed the technology for 10 years. Like, for instance, if you watch Breaking Bad, they have the flip phones. But if Breaking Bad was made in 2015, it would stand the test of time because the cell phones haven't changed. It's still this little flat screen box that you touch. That's the only technology I could say that still stands the test of time in movies. Even like laptops, computers, like that really hasn't changed. Like you could laugh when you see like films from the 90s because it's a big ass television screen with the huge back. But now
or like war games.
Right. And now, like, if you look at a movie from 2016, not that much has changed technology-wise. So we still have the flat screen TVs. We still have the cell phones that look the same. The only thing that's really changed are the vehicles. But even then, it's like we still got vehicles from that time.
Yeah. Well, I think I hate to say it, but there was a video out there. It was like, did the world die in 2012? Because everything looks the same since 2012.
It has.
Because, we've gone to like this non-colorless world,
Right.
because back then, everything was full of color,
Right.
Yellows, greens, brights, reds, everything was distinct with color. Everything had their own unique features, whatever it is. Now cars look alike. A Lexus looks like a Camry,
Right.
And the Accords, they all look alike. All SUVs look alike, and they're all basically the same bland
Pickup
colors.
truck. Sometimes I can't even tell the difference between pickup trucks anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, is that a Ram? It's like, no, it's a Chevrolet.
I used to be able to tell brands apart, and now
Yeah.
you can't. And
No, except for Tesla.
And the same goes for movies. Like there was a guy I was watching on YouTube a while back where it was talking about you can definitely tell what years the movie was made before 2010. Because after 2010, you can't tell if it was made in 2012 or 2020 or
Yeah.
2026.
2016. Yeah, it's just like, oh wait, is this movie brand new? It's like, no, it came out in 2018. It was like,
Hairstyles are relatively the same.
Yeah.
Clothing trends are physically the same. The way that people talk, act, look, everything is relatively the same.
no, you're right. Clothes too's wise. Like nothing's really changed clothes wise.
Like, but if you watch a movie from
the 80s, the 90s,
the 80s, the 70s, the
70s,
60s,
exactly.
you can tell distinctly, okay, this
Oh, yeah.
movie is from that era.
Right.
And nowadays, like if let's say-
Especially in the 80s, like with the beards and the open
Yeah.
shirts, the pastels, and
The
then
haircuts,
the
everything,
haircuts, even the
cars.
90s. Yeah, even the 90s. Like you look at Mortal Kombat in 95, Jax has that little Gumby cut that the guys aren't doing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you have all these styles that were back in the day, but the hairstyles are kind of like the same from 2014 until now. It's always like that fade and the high hair and all that stuff.
yeah, and
A little bit of the mullet
know,
right
so-
now.
so let's
the
just
mullet's
say-
coming back.
now the mullet's coming back. Thank you, country.
The mullet's coming back a little bit with the fade out.
Yeah, they've been bringing back different things. I mean, I know women try to bring back bell bottoms and stuff like that.
Oh
but
yeah. With the jeans, I noticed that a lot of these young women, you just walk in the mall, you see the fashion, and they're bringing out the mom jeans.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but let's just say it's 2040, and you try to look back and say, hey, this movie was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
know, when was this movie made? 2015, 2020, 2025. I don't know. All those movies look the same back then.
Yeah, and you can even see like in the year 2000, like okay, you could tell this movie was 20 years ago. You could tell it was made in the
Even
year
in the
2000.
90s. I mean,
Yeah, in the 90s, especially the clothes.
Yeah, look at movies like Clueless and American
Yeah.
Pie.
Yeah.
And all 10 Things I Hate About You, and
If you look at all the Scream films, you could see how the styles changed. Like Scream 2 is a perfect example. Like I distinctly remember everybody looking like that with the men kind of having that mushroom cut. Like if you look at Scream 2 in 1997, that was 1997 with the fashion and the style and the way they were acting. It's exactly the way I remember it.
I think if anything that would be able to tell apart, and I hate to say this, but one of the things back in the early 2010s was if you had a Bieber haircut.
Oh, the Beeves. Yeah.
Beeves.
Yeah, it was
The
like
guys had a Bieber haircut.
it was like a weird Beatles haircut. Yeah.
it was the Bieber haircut.
The Bieber haircut. Yeah.
And then later on, around COVID, you had the alpaca haircut.
Yeah.
The Mahomes alpaca.
Mahomes, yeah. That's true, the alpaca.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, but you could see it in that's the only thing I would say that over the years you could see technology change in films. Like you see the landlines, you see the cell phones, you see the computers, you see that's a tow truck going by.
I mean, it's just it's a lot of things. It's even
And
everything
it
from
hasn't
like
changed in 10 years.
it's just like
It's still the same.
just even looking at like just even looking at like home decor.
Yes.
Couches, paint. I remember growing up. You had pictures on your wall, paintings on your wall.
Right.
You go into most people's homes now, and there's like hardly
Nothing.
anything on the wall.
No, it's all bare.
Flowers. And we're talking family portraits, not just
Right.
regular portraits. It's like family portraits. And
Nobody does family portraits anymore.
no, well, no one mails anything anymore. That's why.
Here they do.
Well, they do.
They
But generally, it's like you have a kid. I mean, I remember when you get a newborn, it's like you're popping out, photos to everybody, every relative, and even when I graduated high school, I'm sending invitations with my photo in it.
Right.
Now it's like, did you get my email?
Well, I'm kind of doing that just to save money. So I've been sending digital invitations, like save the dates. And
You're
all
not
that.
helping out our business. I'm just saying.
It's just laziness. I'm just like, I really don't feel like printing out these cards, and it's a lot of money. So I'm just like,
I will, but there's something a little bit more nostalgic and meaningful, like especially like holiday cards. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, that's still a big thing.
where it means something to receive something in the mail from somebody.
Exactly.
It just means that you care a little bit more than just sending an email or a text.
Well, I did save the business, and I did save a relationship recently.
No, there you go.
So what I did was, as a young man, something happened with his cell phone where he posted something he wasn't supposed to post. The parents got upset. They took his cell phone away. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I really like this girl. I'm in love with her. How am I supposed to text her? I said, buy some stamps, get some paper, and send her letters. And it worked. And he was writing back and forth to her until the parents caught the letter. And then the mother was like reading it. It was like, apparently it was like a little dirty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then she found his letter. Then she sealed it and, put it back for her to open. And then she saw that the daughter sent an outgoing letter. So there was like some risque stuff, because now they have this technology where you could take pictures and it'll print out kind of like a Polaroid. So she was doing these little pictures and putting it in the letter. In the letters. But again, I would say that helped our business, because he's buying stamps, she's buying stamps. He was on punishment for 2 months. He couldn't use his phone or whatever. And, but then they got a little carried away.
I'm going to go off on a tangent here. So,
Go ahead.
When you talk about, only Gen X will know this, and probably some millennials might, but
We'll do the test. We'll see
we'll
if
do
I
the
know.
test. The days, did you have a pen pal?
Kinda, sorta.
Did you have a pen pal that you wrote to every day?
No, not every day. It was like
Well,
once
not
a
every day.
month.
Well, at least once a week or once a month.
Once a month. Once a month I did.
So back when I was a kid, probably, I don't know, like second grade, and it was grade school at least.
Right,
They set
elementary.
you up with a pen pal.
Yes.
And you basically, you're given their name and address, and you write them a letter.
Yeah,
And then they'll write you back, and then you write them a letter, and then they write you back. And then, I could remember hearing stories about how people had done that for years, and they grew close together, and they eventually got married.
Yeah. I heard about
A pen pal marriage.
Yeah, so one of the people I went to school with, he was in the 7th grade, and he had a pen pal of a woman in Japan.
Yeah.
And he ended up, because I finally asked, I met up with this guy in 2023 who owns the bar that I went to elementary school with. And I asked him, I said, hey, whatever happened, to Willie? He's like, oh, no, he went to Japan. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that the girl came and visited the school. He's like, yeah, no, he went to Japan and he's living with her. They got 2 kids. I'm like,
A pen pal marriage.
A
Yeah,
pen
those
pal
don't
marriage
exist
in Japan.
anymore.
No, now it's all Instagram and who comments on your stuff and reaches out.
Well, this younger generation really needs that validation.
No, and they don't go
Affirmation?
Yeah, they don't go out, or if they do go out in a group, you don't talk to the girl in that group. You don't know who's with who. Everybody's shy. If anything, they just came out with the study. I got to find out if it's accurate, but the study said that the new ones, I think is Gen Xers, no, not Gen X, Gen Zs, that the Gen Zs are, I don't want to say derogatory, but less intelligent than millennials. They found out with standardized tests, with testing, and that it has to deal with them being able to pay attention and what they're retaining.
I think that there's so much of that they have that selective choice,
Right.
and they're not being. I hate to use the word accountable.
That and productive with it, what they learn.
I hate to use the word accountable for it, but every time that I had learned something as a kid, you were held accountable to learning it and then utilizing it somehow.
Right, correct.
And then so you had to provide that demonstrative performance. And
Right.
nowadays, information moves so fast. It's a shotgun effect. I'm going to throw 20 subjects at you and hopefully one sticks.
Right, it is. Yeah.
And it's a shame. Like I was watching on TikTok, I guess the new trend right now is the balloon proposals, the balloon dating, I think is what it's called.
Balloon or balloon?
Balloon.
Oh, balloon dating.
Have you heard about this?
Is it where they have multiple dating websites on their app?
No,
on their
it's
phone?
called a balloon dating.
No.
This happens on campuses mostly. So it's a coordinated event. So basically, there's anywhere from 10 to 20 girls, and then they get one random dude, and the random dude will say, "Hey, you got to introduce yourself. Tell us one thing about you." Or they have their precept questions.
The balloon popping.
The balloon popping.
Yes,
right?
I have seen that.
And
Yes.
they'll ask them a question and be like, "Do you currently have a job?" And like 6 girls will pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, he'll say no, and they go pop, pop, pop.
And they'll be like, why did you pop your balloon? Because he doesn't have a job. The guy goes, well, I'm in school, bitch.
I saw one where they all popped the balloon because he was too short, And he's like, how tall are you? And I forgot he said like 75 inches. Like it said something inches instead of 5'6".
I'm like thinking to myself, I was like, this is the new trend, but yet it's so demoralizing.
And it's entertaining.
And it's like you're in like public view and it's on the internet.
It's horrible.
And you know, especially if you're just a regular guy.
Well, there's people your age. I saw one where a woman, she was 51, and she went to some type of she went to the balloon thing, and then she says, "Oh, I went to what's his name? Keith Sweat." She says, "I went to a Keith Sweat contest. Yeah, y'all gotta like Keith Sweat." And then as soon as she said that, went boom, 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 boom. They all started popping the balloons.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah. So actually, it's all ages because I've seen people in their 40s. I've seen people, of course, in their 20s, but I've seen older people go on there. And that surprised me.
Well, it's a trend. It's something new on social media, and then unfortunately, It's one of those things that will fade out. It's a sad part.
No, it's going to fade out. But again, people are finding entertainment with the balloon popping and all that on social media. They're not watching TV anymore. MTV just died.
Oh, we're going to talk about that later on. We've got a whole story on that. So guys, stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes. Hit subscribe, and we're going to come back with our next episode.
So yeah. You know, we're actually going to put this on DVD. So that way you can get the behind the scenes or director's cuts, all of our deleted scenes.
We're going to put it on a CD.
We're going to put it on, a DVD.
We'll put it on a DVD. We're going to hand it out. CD, yeah, we're going to hand it out on the back of a trunk on Glendale somewhere.
Here we go. We're going to do it like the old radio stations. Yeah. We go to these little events. Like, here, have a CD, have a T-shirt, have a CD.
Yeah, you'll see us at the state fair with the booth.
And we'll even give you our bonus features.
All right, but that's the end of our first episode. Rocky, thanks for doing this with me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for that. You know, like I said, it just took us a while to get this. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and I'm so happy that we got this going, and I'm really looking forward to future content.
Definitely. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.